Hello everybody, it's me, B1 for you too, and I got a story to share with you. So, I'm out and about. I woke up feeling incredibly blessed. I was immediately presented to opening two gifts. My eyes. But no, I felt super blessed this morning, and I was like, I'm gonna go out, and while it's daylight early, I'm gonna go find the glove that I lost yesterday. So I go find this glove, and it was right off of the path that I normally walk, and it was just nighttime when I lost it, so I couldn't find it. But then today I found it, and when I grabbed it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go and throw it in the dryer because it was soaking wet because it's raining. But I throw it in the dryer, or no, I go to throw it in the dryer, and I think, no, I'm gonna do laundry later. I'll just wash it. Like, it's okay if it's wet. And I actually, so here's like a small detail. I went to throw it in the dryer, and I realized, nah, I'm not gonna throw it in the dryer because I want to go back outside. But I went into the lint trap of the dryer, and a bunch of lint kind of fell on the floor, and I went and got the vacuum, and I vacuumed the lint back up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So I left again, and I'm walking, and I'm like, where am I gonna go? And then I'm like, okay, I know where I'm gonna go. And I start walking that direction. I never go this direction if I leave like this. Like, I do occasionally. There's a few different ways I can go, but I leave this one way. And as I'm walking, it's just, like, okay. And then I look in the middle of the street, and it's pouring down rain, and there's just this little black bag in the middle of the road. So I walk up to it, and there's also a stomp pad for the car when you get in for your feet. And I'm like, okay, I wonder what's in here, So I grab the thing, and I put it to the side of the road, and I go to unzip this little zipper bag, and I notice there's a car key that looks like a rental car key. And I used to, I did a little bit of work with the rental services stuff, where I would go and wash the cars for Enterprise. So I've seen a bunch of the keys, and I'm like, that looks like a rental car key, and it had a little tag on it. But anyways, I see that, and then I see that there's a wallet in there. So I open that up, and I see the address, and the address is I don't know the specific address, but I'm on that street. So I'm like, must be close. And I just thought of a couple scenarios and how it got there. I'm like, maybe it was on top of the roof of the car and fell off, when you take a turn quickly, or who knows. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck it got down here, but I'm glad I found it. So I found it, and so I zipped the bag back up, and I put it in my pocket, and I turn around thinking the address might be over here. And lo and behold, the address was over there. And it was I'm like, okay, I'm getting close. I see that I'm going up in numbers, and I'm getting close. So I turn down this little part of the road that kind of branches off towards the address that I want to go towards, and I see a lady. She's standing outside of a car with an umbrella, and she kind of looks like she's having a good day, but deep down, like, she's worried. Like, I saw anxiousness in her. And I whistle. I'm like, and she looks over at me. She hears the whistle. And then kind of looks around to see, like, who I'm whistling at. And she's like, oh, are you whistling at somebody? And I'm like, I think I'm whistling at you. And she's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, do you live at blah, 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 blah? And she's like, I do. And I'm like, I just found your wallet. And she's like, oh my God, I could hug you. And I like give her a hug. And she's like, immediately all that anxiousness that I saw walking up. And she was a sweet person, you know. It's like I could tell she didn't want to be anxious. And she's like, still, you know, like, it'll be okay. And, you know, but as soon as she's hugging me, I can tell that's gone. Immediately gone. Like, she's feeling good. And she's like, you don't know how much this means to me. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, that's so awesome. I'm so happy for you. And she's like, oh my God, like, let me, like, she's like, can I pray for you? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, but instead of anything specific, you know, like, can you just pray for me that more of this stuff happens? And she's like, oh my God, blessings, blessings. And she said, I was like looking up and praying to the Lord saying, please, Lord, help me. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so incredible. Like, that made me feel even more happy for her, because I'm like, sometimes we don't know who to ask, but we always ask the Lord in the time of need. And just so happens, you know, like, I believe that God is like the big orchestrator, the creator, the almighty. Like, I believe that God puts into this life with intention and perfection. I believe that strongly, like, with the deepness of my heart. So I told her, I'm like, I'm a big believer in God. I'm so happy that this happened. And she said it again, like, you don't know how much this means to me. Thank you so much. And I'm like, well, like, you know, and she asked me, what's your name? I told her, I'm like, my name is Brandon. And she was very happy. Her name is Sandy. If you ever see this, Sandy, I'm so happy that happened. But anyways, yeah, and then I'm walking now, and she actually, oh, this is another part. So when I came, oh no, before I left, she was like, I had called a tow truck to come tow this rental car. And like, now that I got the keys, I can cancel it. I gotta go cancel it real quick. And I'm like, yeah, go in there, you know, go cancel it. I'll tell them that it's okay. But, and then I left, you know, and now I'm here. And I walked a while before I decided to record anything and say anything to the camera, because, you know, I'm thinking, like, these sort of things are why I live. Like, I live for the connection of God in all of this life. Like, I genuinely live for that. So in order to, you know, like, I just see these things as like, as a thing that happens. I know that we always, like, want good to happen, and not always can we have good, but the fact that there is good happening in these sort of connections, and to know that there's a reason for them, makes me so happy. And I also, you know, on top of this, I just want to say, you know, I walked up to the bag, seeing it in the street, and thought, I wonder how this got here. You know, like, my mind starts pondering on, how did this get here? And going back to what I was saying, I believe that everything is orchestrated by the divine. Like, God cares deeply. And I think for my path to have crossed that bag, to have been right there, to have been like as this tow truck's coming, like it's just, it seems to me like it was orchestrated, you know. And I want to say that sometimes things happen and we haven't found out yet why they happened, you know. Like, she lost that bag and she might have thought, man, this isn't how I wanted my day to go. I wanted to return this. I had all my cards. Now I have to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do all that, you know. And like, she was feeling at least a little bit of something from losing that. And, you know, like, God heard her ask for help, but God was also the one that had her lose that. And maybe just to strengthen her faith that much more, and to strengthen my faith that much more, in such a way that it's like literally the perfection of the timing of God is enough to make anyone just put their head onto the ground and just thank God for all that happens. Because, you know, in all of this, I'm sure that life would be good if everything went our way, and in certain circumstances and instances, things do go our way like that, and life is good. And that's how we have some sort of like parallel to draw and compare off of. But the way that God works is beyond good and bad day-to-day life, is beyond the need for everything to pan out perfectly for the immediate. You know, God is creating everlasting love, everlasting bliss. So, you know, in this temporary life, we're connected through God, and there's such an elegance when it comes to how all of everything unfolds on this in this world. And you know, I gotta say, like, I'm super blessed to have a perspective like this, and I thank God every day and multiple times a day. I'm just so proud of the life that, hey, and then I just seen the homie right there. I'm so proud of the life that God has created for us in this interconnectedness, where we can come in times of hardship and somehow just completely transform it into something that's beautiful. And, you know, glory be to God. It's, you know, it's one thing to say like her feelings and my feelings, but like even just the wallet itself, you know, just sitting there on the cold floor of the cold street, like, I see God in that, you know. Like, the phone that I'm looking at, the umbrella that I'm holding, you know, these things, like, people might not think like that has any feelings or anything, but, you know, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, like, me as a person is like an umbrella or a wallet for God, you know. Like, God is this much bigger thing that I just, like, am so happy to be a part of. And I hope that this umbrella is, like, happy that it's like, yeah, like, I don't, you know, like the umbrella doesn't mind the rain, and you know, it's like perfectly suited for this weather, and I don't want to get wet right now, so it's like perfect, you know. Hopefully the umbrella can feel a little bit of happiness. I mean, I hope God feels happiness through this, you know, regardless of there being a nervous system or anything, you know, just knowing that it's all a part of it. But that's my story. Thank you for listening. If you made it all the way to the end, drop me 3 of your favorite emojis and leave me any stories that you have also had that are similar to this one, that have brought your faith with God stronger and closer. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for listening. And God bless. And yeah, when you lose your wallet next time, if that happens, maybe think that there's a deeper meaning to it than we know. All right, see you.